Yeah, welcome to Tennis Sucks Pickleball Podcast with Travis and Graham. It's the new year. We've had one tournament in. Masters just happened. Why don't you give us a rundown of the Masters, Travis?
Wow, that's extensive. My performance first. Okay, thank you. It was a fucking awesome tournament. Let's start with that. Probably, I put it above San Clemente for myself. Like, I prefer the venue. The only part that sucks is it was super windy, but unbelievable backdrop, super beautiful. Fan turnout was pretty good. And yeah, I was lucky. Like, their first mixed match, they moved us to center. We didn't play great. Lane and I played Jakovlevich and Imperato, I think her name is. And it was probably the ugliest pickleball match that I can remember being a part of. But
she was out at Crescent Lake like a month ago practicing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It wasn't a very high quality match by any means, but we got through it. So, always nice to play on center and like kind of get some jitters out. And then the next day, Lane, Sleeth, and I played Rohrbacher and Ignatovich very close. We were up in the first game, lost it, won the second game. We're actually like 3-1 in game 3, and then it just kind of, the wheels came off.
Is Rohrbacher and Ignatovich not a great team together, or are you and Lane just playing well?
I think I played well. I think Lane and I have an opportunity to play well. It's something she doesn't provide. And she doesn't provide a lot of offense, so it's like we have a ceiling, of course. It's like if the other girl can speed you up the line and be really offensive, then it becomes like I'm playing against a doubles team and they're playing against a mixed team. And James didn't play well at all. Maybe because of the paddle, maybe not. But I thought Rachel was awesome. Like, I thought she played great. And
was she using? Oh yeah.
She was also using the same paddle. Everybody was,
yeah,
right? All of them were. But yeah, that was a fun match. Rachel and I kind of even got a little chippy, which was enjoyable. Well, she ran into the
jokingly chippy or kind of seriously
it actually got
chippy?
real a little bit.
No,
yeah, but it was good. It was
not
good.
Rach.
It was good. Trust me. Like, we're just competitive. But first point, that come on, like right away, I was like, all right. And like we're up like 3-1 or something like that, and she runs into, we hit a let, and she like runs into the bar at the bottom, doesn't say a word, okay? And she like runs back, and the ref calls it touch. Like, huh, interesting. Like, you probably should have called that. The whole fucking net moved.
No.
Well, I didn't say anything yet. And then like the next point, she hits a return that is close, but maybe like this far wide, I think. Lane calls it out. Lane saw it. I wasn't sure, but from my vantage point, I'm not going to overrule Lane. And she's like, Trav, come on. And I was like, well, if you had maybe said you hit the bar, I would trust you. But, so that in the middle, I was like, so you didn't give me the call to the bar or something like that. I was like, well, yeah. And then she didn't understand. Anyway, so it was all in good fun, all fine. We chat after the match. Love Rachel, still my favorite woman by far. If anything, even more so because she's that way. And yeah, then the men's, I love playing with Donald, super fun. We beat Sock and Shick in Shick's final match. Kind of a weird match. We were killing them, absolutely killing them. And we're lucky to again be on center. And then I think we just kind of like lost focus for a minute, made a few bad errors.
In game
two.
Game
2. Yeah, we were up like 7-0 and then like 10-5.
Right.
And all of a sudden it was 10-9. Sorry, we were up 9-5. And then they were up 10-9 and Jack missed a fucking serve. Like, all right, solid.
And that's because Shick's going back to college.
Yes.
Back to medical school.
Yes, he's going back to medical school. Sad because he's like one of my favorite guys to play against in the sense that he's just such a nice guy.
So what was that decision by him, do you think? Like, there's just a bigger opportunity? He doesn't love pickleball? What is it? Because he signed a decent contract, I'm assuming,
you have
right?
to ask him. I don't know. I think he's just kind of anxious to get on with the rest of his life.
Wow.
I mean, I could see that. Like, medical school is a big deal. Like, if you just already invested that much time in it, then you want to see it through, no?
I know, but you can only be a pickleball pro
for so long.
I
agree with that. But
you can be a doctor at age
90,
40, 80. You can be a top pickleball pro if you're average or like in the middle of the pack, maybe a year or two. Maybe just the rest of your contract. Like, I don't know. That's wild.
Well, I know he's playing like one of the India events. So he had a I think he had a single year contract.
Oh, that could be part of it.
And then it was like, okay, I don't want to really renegotiate this. I don't think he and Jack obviously did as well as they anticipated. You could tell Jack was kind of sad it was ending. He gave him like a hug and apologized that they didn't do better.
Yeah.
But look, I think the guy can chalk it up as a great experience, something he didn't expect when he made final of Daytona in 2023. And all of a sudden he was kind of catapulted into this world. So, I think he got what he wanted out of it, to be honest. And so, yeah, anyway, so we win that one. Again, Got to play the Johns after. For that match, I used the new Proton paddle, which I hadn't used before, and super hot, super lively. I wish I'd had a little more time to get used to it because I actually think it's a great paddle. And again, we had chances. I want to say we were up like 6-3 game 2 or 5-3 game 2, and we just don't quite have like our patterns down and how aggressive we're going to be and who's going to pull. But I think we'll get that. And credit to Ben and Colin. I thought they played fucking great. Maybe some of the pressure was off.
Do you think that because it was their last one together, if they maybe had some extra incentive to do better, you know?
Honestly, I think it was more that like if you watched them over the last several months, Ben always looked in particular frustrated. And now it was like that weight of this is something I have to make work to, hey, let's just have a good run, have some fun. And even when Colin did maybe miss a ball, I would look at Ben, which I tend to do, and he didn't have like an eye roll. He didn't look like pissed. And it was like, all right. So he just kind of loosened him up. And I think everybody played on their side of the net much better. And obviously you see that in the final as well. They crushed Hayden and Federico. And yeah, so credit to them. Happy for them. It's I don't think it's going to be a long-term where they split. I think they'll be back together in like 5 months.
Really? That's a prediction that 5 months they'll be back?
A year at the most, but I think halfway through they're going to get back together.
Wrong again.
Hey, he does get one right. Like, broken clock is right twice a day. So yeah, it's possible that I'm wrong on this one.
They're going to play here and there, but they're not going to be like a partners for a year.
Do you think Ben will win at the same clip with other partners that he has with Colin?
No, and
Exactly.
that's only because the competition has gotten better. I don't think Ben and Colin would have won at the same clip that they've won the last 3 years
No,
either.
They won't. But
Nowhere near.
no, it'll be near. It'll be near.
But in that match that you played against them, I have to say there was a moment, like especially in game 1, where they were making a lot of errors. If you guys just would have
Tightened it up a little bit.
tightened it up, they would have done that whole pouty, get me out of here
I agree with you.
routine. I think they were very close to that moment. And then you guys made a bunch of mistakes, like, all right, they're going to give it to us. And then they got happy again, you know? And it was like, damn, there was definitely a moment when it was like kind of like 6-all-ish or just before that where they were like, you could tell they were 1 or 2 misses away from.
Yeah, I think we actually went up
throwing it to
7-6
you.
even.
Yeah, right around there.
And I felt like we were gaining some steam, but we just didn't piece it together. And again, we communicate so well, but we were a little disjointed in what our strategy was.
Yeah.
And I think Donald always wants to play faster than I do, whether because he's not as comfortable manipulating the ball around the line. And I think we're playing aggressive, and he's like faster. So we've got to work that out, and we will. Like, it's not something that we can't do, and we'll just gain more and more comfort and grasp more and more understanding of how we're trying to win points.
Yeah.
But we certainly need to get the air count down. The air count's too high.
Yeah. And I think some of it's just knowing where to be. I really feel like Donald can be more aggressive over middle.
Well, that was my fault. That's
really?
My fault. That's my fault for sure.
I just so many times I was just like, oh, Donald, take that one. Oh, Donald, get in there.
I was cutting in front of him a lot because like he'll hit like a good drop, and I'll veer towards the middle because I'm accustomed to doing that.
Yeah.
And I literally need to remember in my head, like, hey, there's a guy with a way liver arm behind you. Get the fuck out of the way. Like, just guard line. That's so abnormal for me. I've never done that.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of balls that I took that should have been his. Even when they like floated balls and it's off the bounce. Now, I still think my forehand off the bounce, I'm less error prone and a bit more comfortable. But his is more lethal for sure, and will continue to be. And we got to get to a point where like I'm actually like a beta left sider, which I think is what will happen.
Yeah, that's the feeling I had. It's like, oh, I wish he took a little more court.
And he knew like his fifths ratio wasn't good. I want to say he missed like 7-8 fifths.
Yeah.
We've got to get to the line at a higher clip. We can't have those errors. The guys just don't miss enough balls at a high level to give away that many points. We have to strategize whether we're going to drive third.
In tennis, was he like a high error, high winner type of guy, or was he
middle ground?
Middle ground.
I mean, flashy to some extent, but conservative in others. But he was a complete player. Like he was an aggressive baseliner that would come in. So he had a lot of variety in his game.
Yeah.
And I think when you are talented like that, it just takes time to figure it out. Like what do I want to do? How do I apply pressure? Where are the open spots? And like, again, it's why I chose to play with him. One, I really like him. I think he's a fucking great guy. But two, I think he is a student of the game, and I think he's watching and paying attention, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Can we talk about your hat, Graham?
What do you mean?
What is the fucking going on here? Wow.
I don't know if people can see it on the camera, but
Did Ruben tell you to do that? Seems like you don't step without his fucking say so.
He's sick right now.
Good.
I gotta say something about that. It just happened to me in the
Fucking not
car.
Huh.
It's ruining Instagram for me. He's ruining Instagram. You know how there's all those posts that tell you like, it's like, this is the place you need to go on a vacation and go with the first person that if you share, it pulls up. All
every
those
time.
pull up Ruben. I'm just like, that post, I'm like, no, I would never do that. No, that is not my dream.
Yeah, very far from, in fact.
It ruins Instagram for me. I can't have those moments like, oh, who would I go with? Ruben.
His name isn't Ruben. His new name is Pinky in the Brain. You remember Pinky in the Brain?
yeah,
Of
I've
course.
seen that. Yeah.
He's the world takeover guy.
One's a genius and one's insane.
Yes, but the genius wants to take over the world.
There were some other stories that came out. So Quang had a couple of storylines this weekend.
Yeah.
So one is the cease and desist letter that he got from Selkirk. Do you all know about that? You know, like the details on that?
I
You wanna
actually
talk us through it?
practiced with him the day before the event. He was playing with Matt Wright, and Donald and I met him at some place that Matt set up. Nice Indian Ridge it was called. And right when he came out, he had the flamingo. And I knew that he'd been like in Vietnam with them. So I was like, all right, maybe he's signed. No, I didn't sign. I'm still with Selkirk. And he was hitting the fucking shit out of the ball. And sure enough, like while we were playing, I'm thinking, like, this is great. I'll play with that paddle soon. But it was more like, are you going to play with that? He was like, well, I actually just got a letter that I can only play with the 008. And if I don't play with the 008, then they're going to sue me. And it was like, huh? Wait, you can only play with one paddle? Every fucking Selkirk player? So I think he was definitely very nervous about it, but we played like 5 games. The game that he played with the 008 was infinitely worse, like shockingly worse. And so that started for him, obviously, in the mixed doubles where he was playing with it. I think they were down like 5-1 or something. He was like, fuck this, I'm playing with the other. So that's all I know about it. It was a very, very weird experience just to kind of like watch him playing with other paddle and terrified of what might happen if he didn't. But
what was the reasoning for everyone playing the 008?
That's all they would allow them to play.
But why? The answer is,
I couldn't fucking tell you.
are they trying to promote the 008? Or is there something with that where they're boycotting the fast paddles and saying we're not going to pay UPA money?
But they made a fast paddle with the boomstick. And that's what the majority
But they're not going to get them approved by UPA. From my understanding, they're only getting the 008 approved. So it's like some kind of statement about UPA and paddle speeds.
Look, I think we could theorize about what the logic is behind it. I don't think it's wise, but they're smart guys. Obviously, they have their agenda. You know, maybe they're doing it. Like the only thing that I could think of is they're going to showcase that the paddle has become such an enormous part of the game, and that now these players are using the 008 and they're not having success relative to, other paddles and other players, I guess. But I really don't know. I thought about it, and I can't think of any good reason other than pissing off your players and showcasing that you have, not very good equipment. What's your logic? Just to promote it? What do you think? Just to promote the
I
paddle?
think it has to do something. Remember that letter that they signed with Engage and those other companies about, hey, the paddles are too fast. We don't want to pay the $50,000 marketing fee.
Yeah.
We're going to sit UPA out unless you change the rules. I think it's a statement to that. It's like, okay, we got this one approved. It's the only one we're going to get approved until you guys change something. And unfortunately, they didn't think about their players and how that would punish their players.
Well,
they were thinking more about Selkirk in general and how the UPA doesn't seem fair to them with the $50,000 marketing fee and how fast the paddles are getting.
Yeah, I think it's a very bad. I'm not going to mention players by name, but there was not one player who was like, I really like this. Everyone was like, this fucking sucks. Yeah. So, poor choice.
Kind of wild, yeah. So, and then the other storyline for Quang was his body shot headhunting shot from Ben.
Ben, crazy.
Yeah, kind of wild.
Great.
Yeah, crazy. To me, first of all, I went for Colin once, but I thought it was kind of within reason. It did definitely go higher than I wanted it to. But he couldn't get out of the way. It hit his paddle. We won the point. And I probably had 3 or 4 more chances to do it, and I didn't, which I kind of feel like I should have. They apparently don't condone it. And Ben tried to go for me a couple points later, but I think he laid off last second and missed it in the net. And that's generally what happens. Like you go for it, and at the last second, you're like, I don't know if I should do this. And then you miss it by a little bit.
I can't do it because I always hit high.
I know. And that's the thing is you have to be very selective on the ball.
Oh,
The ball to do it. And there's a lot of players who don't want to do it. Unfortunately, I think it is a part of the game at the moment. It is a part of the game, like it or not. The people are going to be wearing glasses. They're going to have to. But, you know, Ben said after that, like, Quang did it 3 times before, but they all looked like normal shots.
yeah.
They didn't look at all like, I'm going to fucking go for you.
No, they were like middle chests and like, you know, pretty fast speed ups, like a normal
they
speed
were-
up attack at the body.
They were fast, but I think they were more fast because the paddle was fast and the balls were fast and him like unleashing a ball full speed. So, you know, look, if Ben had done that to me, I probably would have laughed at it because it is what it is. And it's like, all right, if you want to play that game, fucking let's make this a circus. I'll do it 55 times. Quang obviously has to answer to his dad. So I think he didn't do that. He kind of stayed within his confines of what's going on. Granted, that's one that could fucking really hurt somebody. Full throttle at the face, went over the fence.
Yeah. Went into
But
the
to me, that's,
stands.
I'm not going to say too far because fucking it's game on. However, that's how you take someone's eye out for sure.
Yeah, I think
I
how
felt-
bad
it
Ben
felt
would have felt
unwarranted.
had that happened.
Maybe. He probably would have. But in that moment, he felt justified. If you look at the stare down after,
Yeah.
and his statement was like, if you're going to do it, we're going to do it too. It was like, but he didn't fucking do it.
And then posting it on his Insta. That was
Yeah,
that was
it's
like the
odd.
moment I was like, okay, it's an ugly look, but it's the look he's going for. So
And so I'm like, hey man, you can't be,
there's fans of that
you
out
can't be
there.
Poindexter forever. You got to have a little fucking edge at some point.
That's right. Yeah. Actually, speaking of bad luck, 'cause I don't think that we recorded since Jill Braverman's tweets came out and then Connor Pardo's responses came out.
Yeah.
Did you stay up to date on that?
We didn't talk about that?
I don't think so, did we?
I don't think we did.
Yeah.
Maybe we did.
It happened right before the Masters, but now I can't
I
You're
think-
remember.
probably right. I don't think we did.
I think we had talked about it.
Okay, well, we'll do a brief recap.
And then you cut it out.
And if you cut it out, yeah. Yeah, the thing that I didn't like personally is, look, there's a lot of things you can say about Connor Pardo, which I kind of referenced after the Masters because I had such a good time and it was such a good event. Like, you can say what you want. He's an asshole if you want to think that, or he's slippery, or, you know, all these other things. But what you can't question is the guy's intention to further the game of pickleball, and he does a great job. His staff does a great job. The PPA events are run very well. And I just didn't see the point of like sabotaging him to some extent without all the facts. And you know, like Samin said, bridge loans are normal in a growing business, and they're trying to grow this game at a rapid rate. I think they're doing so. And so to insinuate that like they ran through the 75 million and now they need the money and it's an emergency. No, I don't think that's right, and I don't think that helps the game in any way.
Right. So yeah, so Jill was the one that kind of initiated by tweeting like, you know, they're out of money, they're doing bridge loans and blah, blah, blah. And
Right.
it was, I think like one executive from the PPA plus Pardo that then came in. I think the bit that was kind of controversial is they went to the fact checking stage, but then they went
And they
beyond
talk
that and
shit
started
too.
saying like,
Yeah.
you're just a pro that's trying to stay relevant,
Right,
like
right.
blah,
The
blah,
game's
blah.
passed you by.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think about that? Is that,
that, you know, someone in Connor's position shouldn't go to that. Shouldn't
Well-
go there to the personals. What's the point? It's like, why? Why are you doing that? You're basically giving her what you're saying she wants.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? It's unprofessional and it doesn't make sense. We do it all the time, but it's Travis and I, we're allowed.
But who makes
not-
that,
but
that
not the-
line of who's allowed
But
and
not the
who's
CEO of the tour.
I don't know, man. Like, it's not like this is the NBA. It's a smaller business at this point.
I know, but you don't talk shit about players,
Under me?
man.
Sorry.
That's not how a good business is run. Any business, doesn't matter the business.
Fair enough. I mean, I think you can go either way on that one, but yeah, it's probably better just to stick to the facts.
Yeah.
But I thought Samin did well with that. I think it's normal to be a little pissed off when you're working so hard at something and someone's shitting on you.
Sure.
But yeah, maybe they could have left it.
yeah. Interestingly, we had also some news that Fed's switching to Adidas.
Yes.
And apparently
Now.
there's another big female pro that's switching over to.
You just said that word differently than you usually say it. Did someone correct you?
Adidas?
No, I just don't have the-
Adidas is how you
Adidas.
used to say
I
it.
say
It's Mari
Adidas.
Humber.
Adidas.
Yes, right. Marius, who I heard.
Mari,
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And you guys at the Dink, you guys need to hire me. You guys are late on shit. Fuck, man. It's unbelievable.
He is hiring you. He's going to take this info and put it on the dink in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
He's getting you for free.
That's not hiring me. That's using my services.
Exactly.
They have a better paddle now, from what I understand.
I hear first of all, Rafa uses the deader version. And
what is that? He likes the deader version?
I don't know. It's very gritty. I felt it. He says he really likes it. But he's like, almost has his moral. I even said to him, I was like, you're not a moral man. Shut the fuck up. He's like, man, I don't need to be using that. I could be bodying people everywhere. It's like, and I don't need that. It's like, don't fucking take the high road,
He's
buddy.
a complicated man.
He's a very complicated man.
Don't try to figure him out.
I actually think he's in town this weekend.
Oh, great. I love that.
I hope he comes to Saturday.
That would be great if he came to Crescent.
I mean, you cannot argue that the guy is pure fucking comedy.
Comedy.
Absolute, a unique being.
He's Florida man.
But apparently, he's fucking country bumpkin all the way.
Central Florida man.
Fine. Fine. Special. But had a great win, by the way. He and fucking Noah Khalif crushed Tardio and J-Dub.
It was that soft paddle, that moral paddle of his.
Just took the moral high ground. I mean, it's cold right now, so it kind of works. But apparently the Fed paddle is faster than the Yola, is all foam, and just a complete fucking rocket. And so I saw their first commercial with him today, but it's like a teaser. They don't show his face, and we've been hiding something. Somebody just added pop to their game, and then it shows like Fed serve. And if you watch any pickleball, you're like, oh, that's Fed serve.
Yeah. So you think? Have you played with it? Have you seen it?
No. I've just heard from people that have hit with it that it's gas. It is fast. Now, how much dwell time it has, how much spin it creates, I don't know those things, but I don't think that
it's still called a metal bone.
I don't know that.
It looks cool.
They're good looking paddles. But I certainly think they're going to be working with Fed to make great paddles.
Hey, if you want to get that paddle in advance, check out KP Kitchen. KP Kitchen is a brand that had that paddle 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Travis made fun of me for paying $500 to get two of them.
I did not. I told you if they actually had like a good core and grit, it would be the best paddle on the
But
planet.
you were like, what are you doing paying $250 a paddle? Because back then, $250 was insane.
How many times have you used it?
Never.
Okay.
I don't want to. It's in the,
so weird about
I've got it. It's with the
collector's
Travis
item.
Rettenmeier paddle. MEIER Pro
That guy's
signature
fucking
paddle.
good, okay?
And I have it in the storage. I keep certain paddles that I like. That's one of them.
Fair. It's a beautiful paddle.
But anyway, check out KP Kitchen if you want to get the original version of the Adidas ahead of time. They started. It's not very good.
Not good at all.
Compared to now, but it was a great idea back then.
At the time, it hit the shit out of the ball.
Oh, it was great. We loved it.
So we're at the point now. Then the paddle companies are all starting to raise their game up. It seems like it.
Oh.
Adidas is in the
new
game.
Franklin paddle?
Adidas.
Fuck. Hayden was hitting with the day one. I was like, that cannot possibly be legal. And he was like, it's passing. And the new Franklin, it sounds completely hollow. And apparently they're still working on it, like adding more grit to it because it's pretty smooth, but it still bites a ton. So they basically copied the Yola. It looks like maybe there's some slight variation. Sounds the same.
Fed's the #1 player in doubles now too already.
Is he?
Yeah,
He's
I just saw it announced today. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't fully know how that works, but
It's points. It's all points.
I mean, how does he have more points than Ben?
Because he plays every single event. He
Oh,
played every single event.
gotcha.
He does not miss an event. I mean, you got to commend the motherfucker, man. He works his ass off.
Oh yeah.
And Jaume wrote me after, which, by the way, that men's semi I thought was amazing. Loved it. Maybe the most fun I've had watching a men's doubles match. And Jaume wrote me after the men's singles final, and he was just like, dude, the guy's not missing a fucking ball. Like, he's playing so well, it's crazy. And he is. He's playing great. But yeah, congrats to him. Fucking #1 singles and doubles.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that dude we played? Remember we fucking played him in the Moneyball, me and Ryler. Him and Geminiani.
Played who?
You don't remember this, huh? So he'll tell you, but he was playing with his friend, the golf guy, Geminiani.
Yeah, I know Geminiani.
21.
Yeah.
Like the first Moneyball where we went to Punta
Yeah.
Gorda.
What about it?
Fed was the guy he played with. And
No, he
was
wasn't.
Yes, he was. And he was fucking terrible. He was using the Babolat paddle, and he was atrocious. We were literally like, hit every ball to that guy. He
We
sucks.
did not play Federico
He and I
Staksrud.
talk about it all the time. No, not you and I.
Oh.
Ryler.
Yes. That I
Me and
remember.
Ryler,
I remember.
yes.
And remember you played him in singles and beat him.
Yes.
Because you
That
were like,
one-
you
that
were
one
you were
time.
down like 8-0, and you came around. I'm like, Travis, what's going on,
They
dude?
won.
What's going on, dude? And you're like, oh, I was into the win. Don't worry. I'm going to win this thing from over here. You switched sides and he won the match.
15, 12 or
It was
something.
so weird. He was like, It's too tough in the wind. I'm waiting until I'm downwind to score points.
No, it wasn't. I couldn't hit through it. I had the fucking old Electrum soft paddle. It was not
And
possible.
He's flipped sides and from down 1-8 to 15-12 wins against a guy. It wasn't Fed then, but Federico Staksrud.
Yeah, he wasn't quite the
It wasn't quite Fed, yeah.
And he was also using a very soft Electrum
Yeah.
as well, I believe.
I do remember that.
Yeah. Was Xiaomei a top 5 male?
In doubles?
Yes.
No.
Top 5 left-sider for sure. No? He was the best player on the court that day, I'll tell you that.
He's close.
He's close.
He's a top 10.
Okay.
It's a top 8.
So so in other paddle news, there's a bit of drama going with Gamma. The two brothers that own that company are in a lawsuit right now. Apparently, the guy, their father, who started the company, after he died, I think that one of the brothers became the CEO and just pushed the other brother out, and has been like giving him crazy salary increases and like loans without the board approval. He went from like a 125K salary per year to like 500, and like spending like company money on like country club fees, and to the point that the company was actually not even making money, it seemed like, because of all of his expenses. So the other brother's now suing to basically get some ownership back, I think.
I haven't seen Gamma paddles in a while. I wonder if
And they dropped all their pros too, right?
well, I don't know. They must have, I guess, because but Zane Ford like just signed with them a little while ago, and then whether because he didn't like the paddle, he started within months, maybe a month, he started using the Yola again, and then he just signed with 6-0. But I don't know if he was dropped or no. There's nobody.
Not on
Is
their
Jill?
pros. I think they got rid of their pros.
Is Jill there? But Jill is.
Is she?
I think
She
so.
was. I don't know if she still is.
What about what's his name? Brandon Lang or not Brandon Lang.
Brandon Long.
yeah.
Brendan Long.
Brendan Long. You with him?
I don't
Either
know.
way, they're
I
not
don't
fucking
know.
pumping money with players. Let's just say that.
No.
And now it makes sense. They don't have any money.
Yeah, crazy. So I don't know what's going to happen with that, but that company might not even exist at some point if they're going the way they are.
That's too bad.
Yeah, suing each other is not going to get them there. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's not fun in the fucking courtrooms. Got to tell you, I never win. Large failure.
All right, let's see. What else do we got here? Ben and Anna Lee escape.
That was fucking. Did you watch that?
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, they were down 10-4-1. Looks like it's night-night. And that point, Alshon is a tweener. Doesn't lose in the point at all. It's a tweener. Gets a high ball. Goes boom, boom, twice. Ben dig. And they sneak out of the point. I think after that, they had 5 more match points. I think it was 6 total. But yes, Ben and Anna Lee played great, but fucking Christian and Tyra froze so much. The error count, especially on Alshon's end, just skyrocketed. He got tight. He started to think. And you know, there's a good line. It's like, don't think, it's bad for the ball club. He started to think too much. And they've done that a lot. Like they've snuck out of a lot of matches that way. So credit to them, I guess. They're still by far the best team. There was some, I guess Rachel and James beat the Johnson twins, Johnson duo, which I was really surprised about because I wrote her after. I was like, you guys suck.
So there's not really. You think there's not much competition for that top spot this year yet?
For mixed, they're going to lose some more though, more than normal.
I mean, I'm really impressed with Tyra at the moment. I think Tyra is like probably the most improved female at the moment. Probably the fastest hands, right there with Georgia, certainly. But they're fucking fast, and you know some things she doesn't do well, but she makes up for it with just unbelievable defense, athleticism. Seems to have a good head on her shoulders when she competes. But I don't know who they're going to lose to. Is it? It's not going to be Fed and Catherine. So who's it going to be?
Well, I mean, they almost lost to Alshon and Tyra.
Yeah.
But
you don't think that's a one-off?
Maybe.
They lost what? Did they lose?
I'm
once
not
last
saying
year?
they're going to lose a
They lost once
lot.
last year. Yeah.
I'm just saying
Okay,
it's going
let's
to be
say
more than this
Is
year.
well, that was once last year. Okay, is it going to be
That's
over under 5?
It's going to be exactly 5.
I'll take the under.
Okay.
I'm going to get a hat again, right for once.
And then I think the only other storyline you had was Hayden beating Loong and Garnett.
Oh yeah, fucking 0-0. I don't even know how that's possible. But yeah, fucking Hayden and excuse me. Hayden and Federico beat Loong and Garnett 11-0, 11-0. I didn't watch the match. I know nothing about it, but got it. You got to mention it. That's it. You just got to mention it.
Of course, you got to mention
It's
it.
got to be mentioned. And then, oh yeah, Matt Wright challenged Hayden's paddle, which I thought was funny. He did an interview after, and he was like, he's just crying or he's just bitching or something like that. Which it is a very, very fast paddle, but at the moment, like Matt also uses a 12 millimeter fucking Onyx.
I think it's an 8 millimeter Onyx.
Absolute bullet. So yeah, there's a lot of fucking hot paddles out there. One of them now is also the Flamingo from Proton. So get ready for Donald and I to swing full at your fucking head. Sorry. And when I tell you that this bitch is hot, she's hot.
Is that a hybrid shape?
No, I don't. Is it? I don't even know what that means.
No, probably a 5.25 inch handle and normal.
Yeah, it's a little shorter handle than
a little
the previous.
shorter handle, so it gets a little more. You've seen a little more face.
Yep,
yeah,
a little more face, and yeah, it comes off nice. I'm anxious to use it.
Great. Luke's changing paddles again. Just what he needs.
Oh yeah,
Luke, you and Travis
I got you covered.
and Travis are on the same paddle schedule.
Shut the fuck up, Graham.
He's like Clark. He'll grab if you're like, that's a new paddle. He's like, I'll try it.
At least he's making his own decisions. More than I can say for you at the moment.
So, well, yeah, because the only reason I ask about the shape is Ignatowicz tweeted that he thinks that the future of paddles are going to be all standard shapes.
That's ridiculous to me. But, I mean, maybe he's right. Clearly, I'm never right. So, he could be right.
I don't agree with that.
Why?
Is that what you're asking me?
What's your reasoning?
You can create more power from an elongated paddle. You can reach more balls. There's some benefits to elongate, and people are going to give up those benefits for a wide body.
And I think especially on the drive, like you can drive the ball better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what would be the argument for the wide body?
He didn't say it, but I guess just a wider sweet spot, better overall feel on the whole face. I don't know, but no, I don't prefer the shorter shape.
Interesting. Okay, cool. What have we got next? So California was canceled because of the fires.
Mention that really quick. The fires, very, very fucking sad. A lot of the places I grew up playing tennis, damaged areas that I went to as a kid, fucking gone. It was weird actually. On the Friday morning that I flew home, I had a 6 a.m. flight out of LAX. And so I left Palm Springs at 2 a.m. As I was driving through LA, the moon was like, I wish I'd taken pictures of it, but dead bright red because of all the smoke and all the shit around. I mean, literally bright red. And then, you know, the flight was full and the people on my flight were not your standard coach passengers. It was like a guy who had a Richard Mille watch next to me. And I was like nosy. I was reading his texts. I always do that. So if you're next to me, no, I'm reading your shit.
Great.
I can't help it. I'm just a nosy motherfucker. And and he was saying that he lost his house, had his kids with him. They were going to Miami for a few weeks, and it was just like, you know, I've talked to a lot of my friends who have lost everything, lost their homes, displaced for a while. They're obviously concerned about the insurance. State Farm, for one, apparently like tried to cancel their fire portion of their insurance. It's really fucked. And seeing even Malibu in particular, like right on the water there, which you just wouldn't expect, it's done. You know, it's fucking gone. So yeah, the next event in Los Cab, I think mostly out of just respect for kind of the residents and what's going on, it was canceled. I also think that the hotels in the area will be $900 per because people don't know where the fuck to go. Now it's fucked that they're going to price gouge people like that, but I think that's what's happening. So yeah, Los Cab is canceled, so we have a little hiatus here for a couple of weeks, and you know, turning my home garage into a gym, so I don't have to work out on Connor's floor anymore.
The comments of last week's episode were all saying how youthful you look now, Travis. That you've shaved.
I do look great. Yep.
There were some people say I haven't washed in a while, and Travis looks so much younger.
Cut his hair short and shaved.
Yeah, I don't like it personally. I like being grimy. It's like what I attach myself to. But yes, I am. You know,
you should go see the pics of him when he played tennis and had a shaved head.
Yeah, I was beautiful.
He looks like a different man.
Oh, but that was when I was like fucking full killer. I used to do it. I wanted to do like the, I always wanted like the serial killer look.
Oh, awesome.
Thank you. I tell you.
Well, you've accomplished it now too.
Have I? Now?
No, I'm
No,
kidding.
not now. Then with the full shaved head, like I used to go
I'm
literally
kidding.
like 1 on the buzzer. Zzz. Too bad I don't have the pedo paddle. I was about to say what you've accomplished. Have you saw that one, right? The one that I have the PIKKL.
Has my face on
Where
it.
it's Graham's face and the pedo paddle. Yeah, it's the pedo. Keep your kids locked up, people.
Damn. Okay, so then, so you got a break. What is the next one then after that?
Mesa.
Okay, and who are you playing with in Mesa?
Playing with Donald. Don't know yet for mixed. And then I'm playing Tucson also with Donald. Don't know for mixed. And
When are you going to get back with Elise?
we start just after. So North Carolina, we were supposed to start there, but she has like a wedding or something. So we're starting the week after that, and then we're playing every event. So it'll, I think the end of April is a real one where it's like, okay, we're, and we've confirmed that like once we start, we're playing. And I think both of us were like, I don't want to say we like missed each other, but I think it's hard to match the vibe. It's a good vibe. It's fun. So, both excited.
Sweet. Yeah. So our news is that I have my first tennis lesson this week.
It gets better.
I just don't understand why I'm not asked ever.
You're too expensive.
I don't. I fucking hate it. But for
Yeah,
you,
why
I
would-
would. Did you with Rachel?
No, I did
Oh.
my lesson with Rachel, my
You did?
pickleball lesson.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
she was incredible. And yeah, I'm going to
Great.
try and milk her for more lessons as much as I can.
Nice.
Milker.
Milk that
You're
shit.
getting
buddy.
milked, Rachel.
No, she was very sweet to do that. But yeah, I didn't ask you because I know you don't like giving lessons.
We can't afford Travis.
First of all, I do it for free all the time. Graham, I hit pickleballs with you for free.
All right, this is what we need. Go on. There's more
Yeah, go
to
on,
it,
go
Travis. We need you as a coach because
Yes, me and Graham have committed to entering a men's doubles tournament this year.
Okay, this I have to be here for.
and we're gonna need a coach.
Okay, we have to organize this around my schedule. We need to have like a 3-day training beforehand. I'm
What
dead
do you
serious.
think
I'm
about
not
what do you think about
fucking
us
kidding.
playing men's doubles tennis?
We're going to enter as Tennis Sucks.
Wow.
That'll be our
Please.
team.
That's
name.
your team name is tennis.
Please,
Sucks, yeah.
are you wearing mics? You're gonna do the things.
Yeah,
where-
so we'll mic up. We'll mic
Okay,
up.
mic
Well, in
up.
fact, I think we should mic you up more than we actually
Oh,
do.
we're
Mic
micing
up
you
the
up
coach.
100%. Are you fucking? I can already see it. You fucking guys. Trash.
I'm
That's
so
amazing.
pumped. I'm excited.
Okay, so how were you, by the way? That was your
So
first lesson ever?
my forehand,
This upsets me too.
my forehand needs a little bit of work, but he said no notes on the backhand. He was like, your backhand is perfect.
And this is the thing too. I'm learning this is about coaches now.
Backhand's not perfect.
I'm sure it's not either. But I just know I thought like I was special because my coach told me that I was like a natural talent.
You are.
And I told Luke this.
Yeah.
And Luke's like, that's funny because my coach said I'm a natural talent. I'm like, do all coaches just say this to get more money out
Well,
of
first
us?
of all, I will tell you this, Graham. I didn't see him, but I will tell you that you are uniquely gifted in putting the center of the racket on the ball. Your movement is atrocious.
Yeah.
Rotational preparation also atrocious, but you are able to rally very early on, which is rare. Very, very rare. I have not seen Luke, but yes, all coaches say that it's a fucking marketing ploy because then you're like, oh, I could get good at this. I keep going to this guy who knows his shit because he obviously knows because he told me I'm good.
Yep.
And
We
yeah.
fell for it because we're going back.
No, I don't. I think Coco's too nice too to be like, hey, Graham, you fucking suck.
Well, I've already set up 3 practice sessions this week. I'm doing weekly lessons.
Oh my God. And
Yeah.
you enjoyed it.
I had a great time. Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
I mean, we got to change the pod now. Tennis is fucking amazing. So you're watching the Australian Open too on the reg
To absorb and like
and
Oh,
learn and to learn.
wow. Who
No,
knew?
I'm sure you can apply a lot of that stuff there.
Well, with the perfect backhand, I mean, he's got a lot of people that he
you know, what can I
he
say?
can imitate now.
Yeah, I like
You
that.
know?
For you, Luke. That's good.
Yeah. So
It is nice to find something you enjoy like that. That's outside of the reg.
yeah. Well, and I figured that like there's so many empty courts here, we can rally between pickleball matches.
Yeah.
We can rally. I'm happy to rally.
A lot of free courts to practice on these days.
A lot of Graham's paddles are sitting over at the demo site or rackets. Sorry, it's funny. I used to call paddles rackets. Now I call rackets paddles.
All right. I think that's it. That's the news, right? That's what we
Your
got.
team tennis sucks.
Yeah. Tennis still sucks for now. Until
I don't
we
think
win
it
our
does
tournament,
anymore.
then it's going to be great.
Wow. Can we play? But it's not like you haven't found the tournament you're going to play.
No.
Okay, so I can help with this.
Yes.
We can mark.
We
this
don't
on
even
the
know
second.
what we should be playing at.
The lowest possible level. A 3-0 is that's legit.
3-0.
And I think that's
We can win that.
Yeah.
We're gonna win 3-0. I
Okay.
won my first 4-0 pickleball tournament when I just started pickleball. We can win a 3-0 tennis tournament. Talent.
Would you think you're a right side player in tennis too? Is that a thing?
That's not a real thing, no.
Oh, okay.
I need the
But
slower
even like
side.
you return on a certain side, but you play both sides. But you return on a certain side.
My forehand is way better than my backhand. So 100%. We're a perfect team already. My forehand's way better than my backhand.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean you know where you like to hit your forehand or where he likes to hit his backhand. He might like to drive his backhand line, or he might pull it because he's more left-hand oriented.
But he's got a perfect backhand, so he can put it wherever he wants.
Even the perfect bat, and even Djokovic prefers line. It's based on technique. Don't worry, guys. I got this for you. Now that I know I'm working with real talent.
I'm thinking 3-5. I'm thinking 3-5.
Listen, you cannot play 3-5. You can't play 3-5 because then the match it's going to be a really short day. And I want this to last. I'm getting fucked up that day. I'm waking up. I'm
Watch
going
us just get
cocktail,
beat
9
by
a.m.
like really old, like just like
Oh, you're
can't
gonna get
move.
If the
And
guys
they're
can
just
play
like,
at all, you're getting roasted.
and we're running all over the place, just like pickleball.
I can't wait to dink with them. It's
I've
going to
never
be
seen
great.
you run all over the place, Graham.
You know what I mean? Trying to run us over the place.
Moving slowly around
Oh man.
with your shoes untied. Are you going to tie your shoes?
Probably not.
Oh my God.
No, that's the same for tennis, especially doubles tennis. You don't move as much.
The Adidas shoes that have no laces.
All right,
guys,
sweet.
This is really exciting.
Well, I thought you'd like that news.
That really added a lot of joy to my day. It's almost better than my personal sauna I just got.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. We'll see you next week. Tennis still
Thanks, guys.
sucks.
Tennis is great.
That is great.
We all love it.